What's up, everybody? It's Late Boy Crypto in the house. Yes, you don't see the camera because, like I said yesterday, my camera was dead. And what did I tell you? I was going to forget to charge it, like I always do. So no camera in today's morning stream, but it will be back today. Like I always say, sorry if you guys missed my beautiful, beautiful face. But we are back here as we go, right? So what is Bitcoin doing here? What's Bitcoin doing here? What's going on, Casey, Bill, Juan, Jenny? Espresso addict. That is definitely me this morning. I'm definitely a espresso addict. All right, what's going on with Bitcoin? Well, on the hourly chart, we are forming another bull flag, almost exactly like we were in the previous pump, right? And these bull flags, I love bull flags. They're one of my favorite patterns. They always tend to break out to the upside. What's up, Jazz? Yeah, what's the point? What's the point of watching my stream without my face? Anyways, we look here. I mean, these clearly, not always, I want to say, but usually break out to the upside. Now this one isn't as good, right? Even though I do think that this has a potential to break out to the upside, I still think we do need to go a little bit lower. But if we look at this from basic technical analysis standpoint, you should break this to the upside, and it looks very similar to this pattern here. Now your breakout target on this guy, if you did want to take your measured move. You take your flag pull here and extrapolate that up, would give you a measured move of approximately about 46,000. 46,000 would be your measured move here on Bitcoin if this was to break out to the upside. Can we get a floating helmet if we can't see the mug of yours? Sure, why not? Let's go with floating helmet. Why do you guys want a floating helmet? Let's do it. Let's do it. There you go. Floating helmet. There we go. But yeah. So this pattern looks very similar to the one we had down here. Basically, we came up here, kind of made a one little high here, right? Same thing here, made a little high, right? Came back down, retested, came back down, retested, made our kind of our higher high there. Then kind of consolidated sideways for a while, consolidated sideways, came back down, retested the support, came back down, retested the support, and are now trying to make a higher low in that same trend, right? Came up, now trying to make a higher low. If history was to repeat, well, we saw what happened last time, right? We got a big move up to the upside. Now, we're still a little ways. There's still a few hours to see if that actually does end up playing out here. But it is very indicative to what happened last time. So that's pretty exciting. Now, why do I think that we necessarily have to go a little bit lower here? Well, if we actually jump on into the 4-hour time frame chart, I do think, right, and I think it would be healthy, what we've been talking about, if we come back down and test this blue line down here. Usually what you want to do is you want to test those trend lines when you break them. Because the problem is, if we just pump up right from here, I guess it's not a problem, but I think it would just be more healthy and kind of confirm support at this blue line level before we actually continue up to the upside. That's why I do want to see us go a little bit lower. Also forming a bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame if we do drop a little bit lower in the price. But this is looking pretty bullish to me if we can actually get this next bounce here to the upside. Tyler said, what do you think about Panama wanting to follow El Salvador and make Bitcoin legal tender? Second largest influencer over the international trade. Bullish AF if they pass a law. I have actually not done any research on that. I will do some research on that today and go over it on tonight's stream. Sound good, Tyler? Sound good. What's up, the brown kid? Good morning, man. Hope you're enjoying your nice little espresso coffee. And yes, there is a floating helmet on the bottom right side of the screen because my camera is dead because I didn't charge. It's typical me. Typical me. Hey, it's better to happen in the morning stream than the night stream, But yeah, that's the 4-hour time frame. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, we're just going sideways. We're just oscillating sideways here between these two levels over and over and over again. Now, can we count out another retest of this green box? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, what do we say back here? We're respecting sideways for a long time, right? Multiple weeks, even possibly multiple ones of sideways here between these levels. Now, do I want it? Do I want us to break straight to the upside here? Absolutely. Absolutely. But we got to wait to see if it happens first, right? But that's really the 4-hour time frame. Not much new on here. We're pretty much just watching this hourly bull flag. Going on to the daily, the death cross is probably going to happen this weekend, it looks like. Probably Saturday or Sunday. We know that's not really a big deal. We've gone over that multiple times in the past, and that was just really not a big deal at all, really. So that's the death cross here, the red flipping over back over the green, whatever. But we'll continue to look at that too. I actually wanted to go back and look at this again. I'm going to remain cautionally optimistic, right? Even if we do pump up from this hourly bull flag here. Guys, remain cautionally optimistic here that it's not the end of the world, right? We need to get back over this red box, this big red box of resistance. Previous resistance, previous support, previous resistance. That's kind of the swing level we're looking at, right? And we know once we break over this red box, we're probably going to see a quick move up to about 48,000, right? If we can get back over this red box, retest it, I'm seeing a quick move up to 48,000. But obviously we have to get back over it first, confirm it. Until then, not much is really else going on, right? Nothing really going on in this daily chart. That's why I didn't really have anything here because nothing's really changed from yesterday. The weekly chart, it looks like we got rejected from, so this is the 21-week EMA and the 30-week EMA. Looks like we just got rejected from the 30 on this week. Now we're coming back down. Now, I don't like that rejection, right? I definitely don't like that rejection. Doesn't mean it's the end of the world and we're going to zero, right? So everyone, hold your horses. We're not going to zero here. We're not going to zero. There's a W pattern forming. It should bounce here this afternoon. W pattern. Not seeing any W pattern here, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, so we got rejected off our weekly support band, 21-week and 30-week. Got rejected. Could mean we come out lower here on the weekly, but I still don't see it. I still see a nice really bullish divergence on the weekly time frame, which you don't really see that often. Higher lows in the weekly, lower lows on the RSI there. So you don't really see that often. So I'm still cautiously bullish that we did hit our bottom here, but we'll obviously have to wait and see as well. Bitcoin dominance continues to kind of squeak its way up here. I keep forgetting I'm not on camera, so I can't really do my normal hand motions here. It's kind of awkward. I'm kind of staring into a screen and this is really weird. Anyways, we're coming up here, slowly creeping up to that 47% on the Bitcoin dominance. I do expect us to hit that eventually. It looks like Bitcoin just kind of wants to take its time to get up to that level, though, at the moment. So not much different there. Total market cap, looks like we're trying to bounce here. Looks like we're getting some rejection off that 20-day EMA on the total market cap there. We got above it, and then Bitcoin literally just said, right? And now is back down below it, and have confirmed it as resistance. So looks like we're going to get squeezed between our big support on the total market cap and the 20-day moving average here. We'll see what happens when we actually can break this to the upside or to the downside. Going forward, Ethereum really trying to hold this support. It's really trying to hold this support. If we can hold this support, I do like the look of that possible head and shoulders pattern that we looked at yesterday. The left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. If we can actually come up here and break this neckline here, we could see a quick move up to about 2,900, depending on what Bitcoin does here in the short term, right? So that's Ethereum. That's really Ethereum at the moment. Like I said, not much different than yesterday. A lot of these altcoins we're watching BTC, right? Ethereum on the longer term time frame. I did want to look at a little more of Ethereum on the longer term time frame here. On the daily, you can see we have this perfect support line on the closes that is holding up as support right now, right? And you can see where we are right now. We are right on that support again, right? We don't want to break this down to the downside. I mean, you can just clearly see how important that support line is coming across here, almost perfectly, right? The 50-day moving average is being our resistance. So it looks like we might be forming some type of symmetrical triangle on the longer term time frame, say on Ethereum. Looks like we're going to get squeezed between this 50 EMA and this support line coming up. But we are still clearly really bullish on Ethereum, right? We're not even close to our 200-day moving average, which we know Bitcoin already broke, right? Ethereum's 200-day moving average is all the way down here at about 1,800. So the altcoins overall, we know altcoins had a lot bigger gains than Bitcoin. Spoke said, I think Jordan is taking a dump. That's pretty funny, man. That's pretty funny. I'll give it to you, dude. We know a lot of these altcoins outperform Bitcoin on the way up, so they are a lot more above. That doesn't really make sense, but a lot more above the moving average, their longer term moving averages than Bitcoin is, right? So we got a way to go before we can kind of scream, scream we're going to zero here on Ethereum too. So that's really ETH on the daily. Watch this big support line coming up here in the squeeze between the 50 and the support line. On the weekly, I think everything is pretty good to go here on Ethereum. Same thing with Bitcoin. You have a pretty nice bullish divergence here on the weekly time frame. Whether you're taking it from this low here, I mean, you're still getting lower lows and higher lows on the weekly price action. Whether you want to take it from this low here, still getting higher lows on the price action, lower lows on the RSI. You got some pretty nice bullish divergence there on the weekly this time frame. It's the same thing with Bitcoin, right? You're still clearly above your 21-week EMA on Ethereum. So Ethereum just looks more bullish than Bitcoin at the moment. Now, we know that could change on an absolute dime if Bitcoin decides to just break down to the downside here. But in general, Ethereum looks really good. Now, if we look at the past, right? If we look at the past here and we look at what you're currently doing. So it looks like what you're currently doing for ETH is you're just coming back down to retest your previous high as new support. Because you can see once you kind of broke this $2,000 area, you never really came back down to retest it, right? On the weekly, you just kind of went straight up here. So this is kind of a bullish retest of that in the 21-week EMA. And you probably will go sideways here for a little bit, right? If we look back in the past, in the last bull market for ETH, as much as the data we don't really have much data for ETH in the long term. But you can see right here, right? When ETH started its bull market, it kind of went straight up. It had one red candle that kind of had a high. That was kind of your local high, and then you continued up. Now, after that, you kind of just went straight up. Same thing we're kind of seeing now for ETH. And what did we do? Well, we came back down and retested it, and that kind of started a decently long consolidation pattern here for ETH, right? Where we kind of went sideways here for a little bit. We went sideways, and that's kind of what I'm probably expecting right now, right? Multiple weeks of sideways action. I think that's what kind of we started here, where this green box in between these two levels is going to be similar to the green box we're seeing right now of that first really retest of the big local top that we saw for Ethereum, right? Where it matches up almost perfectly too. That first retest, we came back down, retested that high, also retested the 21-week EMA, and then kind of rid it up until we made a double top, right? So that's what I expect to happen here is as this 21-week EMA continues up, we probably ride it up here, test the local top, and then if we can't break that local top, we continue down. If we can, then we obviously continue to new highs, hopefully. But expect some sideways action here, sideways or slightly up, right? Maybe I can't do my arm thing here, but sideways and slightly up action here for Ethereum over the next couple weeks. That's what I'm expecting. Bitcoin not really doing much right now, so we'll touch on that in a second. Cardano, what's Cardano doing? Well, it's doing the exact same thing as Ethereum. Are we respected? I mean, Cardano and Ethereum are super correlated right now. I mean, I know they're both a lot of our wives. Cardano's a lot of our wives. Ethereum's a lot of our wives. And Bitcoin's a lot of our wives, right? But Cardano and ETH are extremely correlated. You still have this possible inverse head and shoulders on Cardano here on the 4-hour time frame that we're waiting for to break out, right? If Cardano can break out of this, and we're going to say the same thing for ETH on the 4-hour, it's going to break out of this pattern as well. Now, I'm not going to look at the longer term time frames for Cardano because it really doesn't have that much price action to compare it to. It doesn't have a previous bull market to compare it to. I mean, the last bull market, I mean, ADA just went absolutely nuts, right? So I won't look at the long term for our Cardano. Let's look at CMC real quick, see anything we got really going on here. Today's going to be a quicker stream because I am working on the Patreon video after this, which I put a lot of time and effort into. It's probably going to be close to an hour and a half video that's going up on the Patreon today, looking at a bunch of long-term outlooks on dozens of coins. So if you guys want to look at that, go check out the Patreon. Links down in the description down below. That should be uploaded about maybe 2 or 3 hours from now. Biggest gainers today, we have XFin Network up 91 on the market cap. That's pretty crazy. Not sure what happened there. Must be some bullish news. XDC. Data Fuel continuing its run up 17%. Now, only if Theta, well, Theta actually up 7% too, but only if Theta was the one that was getting this pump and not Theta Fuel. But hey, it's okay. It's okay. I probably should have diversified into Theta Fuel and Theta, but hey, it is what it is. Phantom, 10%, Icon up 9, Waves up 9, Cosmos up 8. Not a lot of other things going on here. Where is the dreaded coin? I don't see it up here in the top gainer, so that is good to see. Good to see. Biggest losers, there it is. Where did I tell you? Where did I tell you? You're going to see a big pump here from Shiba because of the Coinbase listing, and then you're going to see a pullback. So Shiba down 9%, biggest loser on the day. We'll take it. AMP about 5%. ICP continuing to go down, now bound to 53%. Sorry for all the ICP holders out there. I try to keep telling you, and it keeps going down. So eventually it'll bounce. We don't know where the true value of ICP is. I still think it's overvalued. And I've said it every day. It's on the biggest losers every single day. So, yeah, you can't see my beautiful face today, guys. You know why? The true reason you can't see my beautiful face? I have a huge pimple on the side of my nose here that it's just there. So I'm not showing it to you this morning until I get it off. Until I get it off for later stream. Okay, later stream, my beautiful face will be back. Right now, it's just not beautiful. It's just not beautiful. Now, in all seriousness, you guys know yesterday I said I forgot to charge my camera. Well, me wanting to watch the NBA game that was on last night, decided, hey, let's just hop right off, go watch the NBA playoffs and not charge my camera for the morning stream. Hey, it is what it is. Crow, Kusama, ETH, Quant, some of these other coins doing well. I mean, AMP pulling back because obviously I had a 84% run the last month. So you're probably going to see naturally a pretty pretty not nice pullback there for AMP. But could have just said I was naked. Yeah, I could have, right? Quintro said it is shaped like an ugly doge. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. Thanks for sticking with the stream, though. Thank you. All right. Commence sideways action. Commence sideways action. Let's look at some alts this morning, right? I mean, Bitcoin's doing its thing. I mean, we're waiting for the breakout of the bull flag, whether we break to the upside or downside. One thing I did want to touch on here is the support for Bitcoin. We definitely don't want to break our previous high, right? So this green line coming across, I mean, we talked about it in yesterday's stream, but you don't want to break this high, right? Because if you break this high, then you're going to kind of be tested making lower lows. You really don't want to break this low here at about 34,800. You don't want to make a lower low. So even if you do break this support line, look for support here for a bounce. You don't want to go back below this because then you're going to have lower lows, and that's going to kind of break the bullish structure that we kind of been forming here over the last couple days, right? So that's the next level of support. I'm actually going to make a line there. You don't want to break down this. If you do break 38,000, you don't want to break 38,800, right? All right, let's look at some alts. Let's look at AMP. I know a lot of people want to go look at AMP. So let's do that real quick. Where's the AMP chart I was looking at yesterday? Is it the Tether one? Nope. Where's my AMP chart, guys? This is ridiculous. All right, we'll just go with this one. I'm not sure what TradingView did with my AMP chart, but hey, that's why I don't get TradingView Pro, because you know what? I'm waiting for something better. I think there actually is a better option than TradingView out there, but all right. So what we're looking at for AMP yesterday. AMP was settling up on the daily. Let's look at AMP on the daily chart. And it's gonna do exactly what we talk about, right? I'm gonna get rid of that. Let's go from top to bottom here on AMP. And you can see pretty much exactly where you settled up. I'm not going to count the scam wick. I don't like counting the scam wicks. Not scam wicks, but big liquidation events. See from top to bottom here where you're settled up. You got perfect resistance right at that 1.618 Fibonacci. You wicked up and it'll work back down. You're trying to break it again right now. But I mean, your next target we know for AMP, I expect a pullback though, but we never know with some of these coins, right? 15.5 cents next target for AMP, but expect a pullback, right? Daily is pretty overbought. It can go up higher. We've seen it in the past. Back here, we got up to a 90 on the RSI, but we could need a little bit of cool off here. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually came back down, retested your previous highs, as most coins like to do that before continuing back up to the upside. But AMP still looks pretty good. Just getting a little bit dicey there as far as the RSI goes. Thank you, Super Doge. Thank you for liking the channel. I'm a bit surprised you like Doge, but hey, Doge is fine. Doge is fine. Just don't attack me, okay? Jordan, your helmet is floating in outer space to the moon. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I forgot to charge my camera, so someone requested to put the floating helmet up there. You know, the floating helmet is up on the screen. What else do we got here? Thank you for subscribing, Rapid Shot. We got Lee, we got Joe, we got Rob, we got Moro, all subscribing to the channel. Thank you guys for joining the Jordan team here, even without the camera going on here. You guys are studs. I could tell either YouTube's playing some shenanigans this morning, or I can tell people, right, the low viewers, there's probably a lot of people that only watch my stream for the beautiful face. They saw the stream with no face, and they were like, I'm not watching the stream this morning because he doesn't have his beautiful face up on the stream. I should have known. I should have known. Show us your Duncan. I can't tonight. It's pretty sad. Let's take a look at Chainlink. Jonathan said, love the stream, EOS. Forgot to charge camera. Yes, I forgot to charge the camera. You're exactly right. How did you know? How did you know? Thanks, Simon. Appreciate it, man. All right, let's take a look at Chainlink. Chainlink. I still like the little double bottom here in the daily, right? I still like it. Where you settled up here, and then you try to make a kind of higher low on your wicks, and also double bottom on where you settled up. So I really like that for Chainlink. Now, I think what we were looking at the other day was on the 4-hour time frame. You got the same inverse head and shoulders a lot of these other coins have, right? Where your neckline's kind of coming up like this, and you got your left shoulder, your head, and the right shoulder. You break this to the upside, it's going to be looking mighty good too, right? You look here, you extrapolate this up. It's going to get your target upwards of about $33, right? Almost exactly where your highs were are right here on Chainlink. So that matches up pretty well there. Matches up pretty well. So we'll see if that ends up playing out. We obviously got to round out here, break this neckline, and then continued up. But Jazz said I nearly left. Yeah. It is what it is. All right, that's Link. Let's check out EOS. Someone asking for EOS, even though. What was that one that the bots were spamming that one time? Was it EOS or was it Neo? It was one of those two. I forget which one. EOS, man, it may be forming kind of an M pattern to the downside. I don't love this. But I mean, you look at the 4-hour time frame, dude. You're pretty much range locked here between 537 and 467. You're down, up, down, up, down. I mean, you're making a higher low here, which I like to see. Making a higher low. It looks like continuing making higher lows here, which is really good to see. Could have some type of ascending triangle here forming, where you're making higher lows, and if you break this neckline to the upside, I mean, you're going to be looking pretty swell here. So, pretty damn swell, if you ask me. Where's the arrow? Why isn't this? No, I don't love that. But yeah, EOS breaks to the upside. If Bitcoin continues bullish, always keep that in mind. These patterns only work if Bitcoin continues bullish. Breakout target's about 625 on EOS if we do break to the upside. Like I said, it does look a little, like someone said in the chat, a little double toppy, a little M pattern-y, right? Little M pattern back down to the downside. So you could go either way on this, whether you're bullish, bearish. There's nothing on the RSI kind of giving us a clue on what's happened here for EOS. It was Neo. It was Neo. Yeah, it was Neo. I always get Neo and EOS mixed up. All right, Bitcoin 38,910. So will this play out exactly like it did right here, right? We made a higher low on the wicks, and then we bounced and broke out of our flag. Will that continue here? We'll get that bounce. Now, we haven't fully came back down and retested this line again. I would have liked to see that one more time, but hey, if we don't, we don't. If we don't, we don't. What kind of caused this one to break out for Bitcoin here was the bullish divergence on the 1 hour. Now, we don't have that same thing going on here. That's why if you came back down and tested this again, right, you would actually have bullish divergence. You would have lower lows on the price action and higher lows on the RSI. So actually coming back down to test that green line would be perfect. Perfect. You kind of want those setups sometimes, because right now you're kind of just going off based off thin air. But I'm using a Sony camera, but it does charge. It's just kind of weird sometimes. Like sometimes it charges while I'm using it. Sometimes it doesn't. It's really wacky camera. I don't know. And it was an expensive camera too. I don't know why it does that, but I got to look into it. Yeah, no problem, John. Volume on Cosmos higher than normal. Is it? What are your thoughts on Dash? I got you, Nicole. Let's look at Dash for Nicole. Nicole in the chat. Man. Let's look at Dash here, though. We get, it's kind of the same thing as we're looking at for a lot of these other alts. You can see a lot of these alts are making inverse head and shoulders. Bam, bam, and bam. You could also argue it's a double top, M pattern to the downside. But you do have that structure here. But you also do have the M pattern structure that could break you down to the back down to the downside, right? So it's kind of 50-50 on this one too. You are making higher lows though. The higher lows are a good sign. Now if we get rid of these, and it's not going to be a perfect trend line on this one, but you are making higher lows, right? 1 low, 2 low, 3 low, 4 low. We'll see what ends up happening, right? It's showing seller exhaustion, but we'll see if you gotta obviously you gotta break which way you gotta go first, right? Can I check out Matic? I can check out Matic. Let's check out Matic, and we'll hop back on BTC here. Matic, the Matic network. Trying to see if I can get this camera to work while I'm streaming right now. It's not really working out for me though. All right, check out Matic. Everyone wants Matic right now, but I'm not really sure why. It's not really doing much. But all right, I'm gonna look at Matic on the daily. Reason why is it does have a pretty clear resistance line on the daily chart, and on the bottom side it's not clear. But I mean, you just look at it on the daily. You're making higher lows, but you only have 2 touches on the bottom side on kind of your lows. So you don't really have any confirmed pattern here as well for little old Matic here, unless you wanted to, obviously, you know, take these 2 lows and kind of make yourself a symmetrical triangle. But usually I like to see 3 touches on both sides to kind of confirm that. This one only has 2, so this might be what you're forming, and if this is what you're forming, you do have to give it a bullish bias because you are coming up from the upside. So usually these do break out to the upside or the direction that it basically comes from, right? So could be interesting. You did have some pretty good daily bullish divergence, which actually did play out a little bit, and I still probably think it's going to continue playing out. You can see you're getting higher lows in the price action, lower lows on the RSI. This should break you up to the upside. It gave you a nice pump here. You obviously got rejected from your highs, but it looks like it's trying to continue up here. If Bitcoin does break out, to the upside here, which is certainly possible, Matic should see a move, right? Let's see it. Let's see this possible move for Matic if Bitcoin stays bullish here. You should see a move for Matic. If I can take that line, there we go. And we actually extrapolate that up. It would give us a move about 356. So that's a pretty hefty move there for Matic if Bitcoin does break out too. But that, like, you won't see that move unless Bitcoin breaks, 43,000, right? That's the level. Ecoms, the $2 super chat. Thank you, Ecoms Savior. What's a good volume to look for on breakout trading? Good volume to look for. Pretty much you just want to make a higher volume than what you've been in the pattern, right? So, for instance, right? I'll give an example here. Let's look at, for instance, this bull flag you have right here, right? Pretty clear descending volume. I mean, if you take it from the beginning, pretty clear descending volume, right? And what caused the breakout, right? Once you got that breakout, boom, you started getting some big candles up in there. So if you kind of break that, it's not always going to be a perfect trend line, but once you start getting that breakout volume on the breakout, you see that volume coming in. That's kind of the breakout trading. Now, this one was interesting because you never came back down and retested, right? So I probably wouldn't have taken that trade, especially with all the fake outs that we've seen for Bitcoin lately. You can see a similar things happening right now, right? You're kind of getting overall, you'll get some volume spikes here and there, but overall you're getting descending volume too. So watch for, when you do break out, watch for another volume spike here, whether it's green or red there. So that's kind of what you're watching for here. Just some higher volume than you're currently getting. That's really it though. But yeah, that was a good question. That was a good question. I like when you guys ask good questions. Silver and gold are all manipulated. I wouldn't expect them to move much. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big silver and gold guy. I don't really pay attention to all that stuff. I know there's tons of people that know more about that than I do. I think Neil in here really likes silver, I think, right? I used to talk about silver a lot, but I don't really pay attention to a lot of that stuff. Casey, yes, I am invisible today. I am invisible. I will be back tonight. I'll be back tonight. So best believe I'll be back. Erica and Flip, thank you for subscribing to the channel. You guys are absolutely crazy. Can you? Marco said, "Can you check XRP?" I can definitely check out XRP for you, Marco, for sure, man. What do we got for XRP here? Not really much, right? Go to the 4-hour time frame. I think XRP was the one that was just still in its. So XRP, you're making not really actually. So XRP is the one that you could argue it broke out of its symmetrical triangle, but you could also argue it's still in one, right? You could argue that this is kind of the pattern you're in right now. You could argue it's a descending triangle, symmetrical triangle. Depends how you really want to draw it, but this is what you're kind of waiting for right now. I bet the volume kind of supports that too. Let's check out the volume. Yeah, I mean, look at the volume. I mean, almost textbook, right? Descending volume while you're in a pretty clear triangle, right? So watch for the volume breakout and whenever you break out one of these trend lines. But yeah, I know a lot of you guys like looking at the volume, so I'll start touching on the volume a little bit more. But like when I used to trade a lot, volume is definitely one of the key factors you want to look at for on trades. And volume continues to decline here, right? It's another good strategy to look at where, looking at a coin, is it in this pattern? Is it in that pattern? If a coin's in a pattern, it's generally going to have decreasing volume, right? And when it breaks out of a pattern, it's generally going to have a big volume spike. It's pretty textbook. Usually is. Right? You look right here, right? XRP was in a pretty clear symmetrical triangle up here, right? Decreasing volume. You broke down, big volume spike. So it doesn't always work out perfectly like that, but XRP breaks out of this. I mean, it's going to depend on what BTC does, but XRP breaks out. Look for a move upwards of about $1.06. It's kind of your next big resistance, more so on the daily chart that you really have to break out. That's like Bitcoin's 42.5 equivalent, right? Your Vault says, I really miss his face. Yeah, my face really misses you guys too. Really misses you guys too. I've been trying to play around with it while I'm streaming here. It's just one of those things. I'll probably just have to restart my computer. And usually when this happens, I restart my computer and bam, it's good to go. So it's probably what I'm going to have to do here. Hey, I've been following your channel since February, March when you and you quit job and had a scarf on wall. You're the man. As always, great TA. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you following the channel for so long. That's really awesome, dude. It's really awesome. I mean, the streams come a long way from just making pure static videos with my bed in the background to streaming with the scarf on the wall, and then the small poster everyone used to make fun of me for. And the streams come a long way. I put a lot of work into it. So I'll continue to put a lot of work into it. I usually add something new to it every single week, and I'll continue to going forward. I strive on making a point where, you know, not having to stream the same week after week after week, always improving on it, right? So, I'll pride myself in saying no one puts more effort into their streams than I do. So, something I'll always say, and I'll continue to strive for. KC said, y'all look at Litecoin yet? I will look at Litecoin for you. Just don't attack me. Don't attack me for my Litecoin analysis. Oh, man. I was having a bad day that day, guys. Really bad day. Litecoin. Let's see here. So Litecoin is... Yeah, I mean, you see... I mean, you're just oscillating in a symmetrical triangle, too, for Litecoin. So very similar to XRP, just in a more obvious symmetrical triangle here. So you look here... It's going to depend on BTC, but like another perfect scenario. I mean, a lot of people actually been asking about this lately. Like, how do you use the volume? How do you use the volume to tell you if you break out? Well, look here, right? Another case scenario in a symmetrical triangle, volume tapering off. Wait for the breakout. That's going to tell you when to set your trade, right? But in my opinion, like say if we did break to the upside, watch for the volume breakout, wait for the retest. Wait for you breaking that previous high, and that's where you put your long. Same thing with the short. You break to the downside, wait for the volume breakout, retest, wait for you to break that previous low, bam, that's when you put your long in. Or your short in, sorry. But that's basic support and resistance trading. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it than that, but thanks, Iggy. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks, Felipe, as well, man. Where's my lunatics at? Please look at Luna. We'll look at Luna. You guys call yourself lunatics? That's actually pretty awesome. That's actually really freaking awesome. That's like one of the best community nicknames I've actually ever heard, if you ask me. Mystique said QNT analysis. Yes, we can definitely do that for you as well, man. Sounds definitely pretty good. Let's see here. I mean, Luna. Want to see perfect volume example? Check out Chili's. Yeah, but Luna looks like a classic ascending triangle that's forming. Now, you only have 2 touches on the upside, but I do like the general look of this, right? 1 touch, 2 touches, 3 touches on the downside, making higher lows, volume decreasing. Another example, volume decreasing. So wait for this breakout, right? Wait for the breakout of the upside or downside. A lot of it's going to depend on what BTC does, right? As we all know, and I feel like I'm a broken record saying it's going to depend on what BTC does. But yeah, watch what BTC does. But this looks bullish. It looks like a bottom, right? When you're forming this ascending triangles, looks like a bottom. It also looks like it could be a possible W, right? Bam, bam, bam. You just need to come up here and break this neckline again, and target would be upwards here of about $16 as well for Luna. So Definitely has the bullish look to it. QNT from Mystique. Let's check out QNT from Mystique. I know, wow. Okay, this thing continues to rock and roll here on the new day. You got pretty high there. You got pretty high there. Let's check out what your target should be. Actually, let's go back to the daily here. Do we have any long-term fib left? Let me take a look. So from top to bottom, yeah, we broke all those fibs. Actually, pretty perfectly there. So let's take a look at our short-term fibs, shall we? So we don't have long-term fibs. We can look at some of our short-term fibs. I think what we looked at yesterday for Quant was Quant. I'm going to call it Quant. You know what? At this point, does it really matter? Take it from there. I'm not going to count the scam wick, right? We got the scam wick right here. I'm not going to count that scam wick. You look up. Looks like you're getting rejected on 1.618. You could also draw this with your 1.618 right here, right? Where you actually, your first initial impulse was up to that 1.618 fib. You pulled back, and now you're continuing up. This looks like a bullish back test of this previous resistance now flipped into new support. Now you want to see a bounce here, right? You want to see a bounce. If you break this, could be maybe retesting lower highs, or maybe even retesting your previous highs, right, as new support. Could be coming all the way back down here to like 62.84. But if you hold this previous resistance as new support, next target for Quant, if you were to really start moving here, that would put you upwards of about 106.43 for Quant, right? So would be pretty good. Holy crap, Mayor Thacker comes in with a $200 super chat. That is absolutely insane, Mayor. That's absolutely insane. I appreciate that. That's super generous of you. Holy crap, man. Wow. What coin would you buy right now? Thanks for all you do. Thanks, Mayor. I appreciate you sticking around with the stream and some boring BTC price action. Like I always say, it's going to pay off. The guys who continue to watch the stream every day, continue to accumulate coins right now, it's going to pay off. A lot of these people that don't watch the stream every day anymore, right, are the same people that sold their coins and are going to end up FOMOing in higher. So good to see you still here, Mayor. Good to see you still here. What are good coins to buy right now? In my opinion, I still think Bitcoin is the best buy here in the short term based on the Bitcoin dominance. I do think that Bitcoin continues to outpace the altcoins in general right now. Now, a lot of people tell you AMP, right, Matic, a lot of these coins that had big pumps in the last couple weeks. I still think Matic is a good buy. AMP, I would probably stay away from AMP right now in the short term. I do think it has a short-term pullback. But if you're looking to hold long-term, always go with Bitcoin, ETH, Cardano, and Chainlink, in my opinion. I think those four coins have the best use cases for the future. I think those four coins will always be around. You can't really say the same about pretty much every other coin, right? But that's just my opinion, Mayor. But I appreciate it. That's awesome, man. That's crazy. Like I said, all you guys that are still here right now, you guys are the ones that are going to reap the benefits, and not the people that were watching the stream up here, right? We're accumulating coins up here, panic sold, right? Aren't into crypto anymore. Bitcoin, depending on how long we can go sideways here for a couple weeks. It's going to eventually pop back to the upside. All those people that left are going to be FOMOing in back up here. I'm calling it right now, and I'm calling it right now. So they'll all be back, including my boy Devontae Duke, who's a 99 now in my NBA 2K My League. Absolutely killing it. Shout out to Devontae Duke. I hope he comes back. Mindfulness said, I'm watching your stream every day. Thank you, Mindfulness. I appreciate it. Even when I have a big pimple on my face, I appreciate it. Agree with Jordan on the BTC being a great buy. I pretty much watch his stream and have doubled my BTC holdings since the recent dip. Yes, keep in mind with Bitcoin, you're not going to get the same returns as altcoins, like I always say, right? On the way up, Bitcoin's not going to give you that same return, but it's the safer play on the dips. that's I think a lot of people, like I always say, a lot of people got so used to the altcoin gains. Like people got like throughout the whole beginning of last year, people just got so used to the 20, the 40, the 50, the 60% days on the altcoins that people really forgot why Bitcoin was around, right? It's the safe haven of crypto. As much of a safe haven you can have as crypto. Yeah, I mean, crypto in itself is very volatile, so you have to give the word safe a little bit of room of error there. But as far as safety of Bitcoin, I mean, just on this dip, guys, I mean, we saw Bitcoin dip about 52%, but we saw a lot of altcoins dip 70, 80, 90%. That's why Bitcoin's always going to be king, because even though, you know, you might see an altcoin 10x, right, it's going to pull back 90%. While maybe Bitcoin does a 5x, it's only going to pull back 50%. Over time, Bitcoin's going to continue to outpace the alts. I know we've seen the Bitcoin dominance take a big hit. And I continue to repeat that, yes, the alts, I think the Bitcoin dominance eventually will continue down, right? I think that's kind of just the natural ebb and flow. I expect the Bitcoin dominance to get to about 50% and then alts to have another run here. But what you got to remember is, you really got to remember is, you can do very well in altcoins, but you got to hit on the right ones. You got to hit on the right ones. That's why it's a little bit more risky, because I don't know. It's because you can invest in a really altcoin you think is really good on a dip, but at the end of the day, if you get a big crash or a big dip, when you invest in that altcoin, you could see that altcoin drop 90%, 95%. We saw in the last bear market, right? So if you're looking to hold long term, altcoins, I know I'm going to kind of a ramble here, but altcoins are a little bit more risky. And we don't know what this next bear market's going to look like. Are we going to see altcoins drop 95% like they did in the last bear market, right? Ethereum, right, has some of the most bullish fundamentals, a lot of different things. Even Ethereum dropped 95% in the last bear market, right? So remember that it's tough to say because we don't know how the next bear market's going to look. We don't even know if we're going to have a next bear market. We could just have some type of super cycle. Who knows? But even Ethereum dropped 95% in the last bear market. So that's why Bitcoin will always be king, right? That's why Bitcoin will always be king. Remember the second dump, how toxic chat was back then? Now there is no one. I never saw you that frustrated. They even managed to get under your skin a little. Yeah. I mean, it was a tough time for all the crypto YouTubers, man. Like I said, I'm in a group with a bunch of them, right? I'm in kind of a chat with a bunch of them. Now, I'm not in the chat with, the Cryptos R Us's, the Carl the Moons, the MM Cryptos, but I'm in a chat with a lot of other crypto YouTubers. And it was the same type of thing, man. I mean, on these dips, you're going to have all the fudders, all the trolls come in. But all of a sudden, right, we've been kind of okay for the last couple weeks, and all the trolls and all the fudders are gone, right? I guarantee you, I mean, there was some of them yesterday. If we drop 10% again, they're all going to come back. But yeah, I mean, there was definitely a time where it was definitely frustrating. It was definitely frustrating. But hey, like I said, with anything you do in life, there's going to be good times, there's going to be bad times. You got to take the hits with the punches and keep rolling. And that's what I've been doing. I still don't miss any days. Even no matter how frustrated I get, I will never miss a day of streaming unless I have something super important to do or I'm on vacation. That's the only time I'm missing days. All right. I just went on a huge rant about altcoins and Bitcoin, but anyways. Expert crypto student said Coinbase once said we take vetting process very seriously when referring to listings. Guess that was a lie. Equals Shiba S coin. Why not VeChain? Yeah, I'm still waiting on VeChain to go on Coinbase too, man. It's VeChain gets disrespected, I think. But it makes sense as a business standpoint why Coinbase listed Shiba, right? Think about it this way. They want to make fees. They want to make the fees off the people buying crypto. What's the hot ticket right now? The meme coins. So it makes sense to them having Doge, Shiba. I wouldn't be surprised if they add more meme coins on there. It just gives them more. It just gives them more it gives them more fuel to make more money, right? It gets the newbies in there because Coinbase already has everyone that's already into crypto on their platform. They need to get the newbies in there. So how do they get the newbies? They list the hot coins. The hot coins. Thanks, Frank. Appreciate it, man. I try, dude. That's because anytime he says the hard truth, they get yelled at by all the Moon Boys. No, it's not really the opposite. I think, see, that's the thing with the bullish people. That's the thing with the bulls and the bears, right? You can say the harsh truth to the bulls, and they'll respect it, right? They'll be like, "I appreciate your honest opinion." But when it comes to the bears, when you say anything bullish in bearish times, the bears attack you, right? So I think it's kind of the opposite of what you're saying, right? Coinbase is a sellout. Yeah, I mean, they're a business, though. Just like with anything, I can't hate on people trying to make money, right? It's a business at the end of the day. Just with anything in life, right? Think about it from like a sport. Like, that's why I know I always crap on people for shilling Bybit and shilling all this, but at the end of the day, I mean, this is what a lot of people do for a living. So at the end of the day, it's a business for a lot of people, right? So you got to think about from that scenario. It's like watching your favorite sports team, right? You call your favorite sports team a sellout? No, you don't. But what are they at the end of the day? They're a business, right? Everything they do revolves around making money, right? You don't hear people talk about the Patriots being shills or the Celtics being shills. No. Why? Because they enjoy it. I think as long as people enjoy your content, they won't care about you shilling stuff and things like that nature. So I know I always crap on people for shilling all that stuff, but I understand it from a business standpoint, right? Bears are watching. Yeah, pretty much. Someone said in George's stream, someone said in George's show that he should stream with you as a guest. He said that you reach out to him. Yes, I tweeted at him. I tweeted at him. So I'll wait for his response. Like I said, it's hard to get in touch with these guys because these guys are getting probably thousands of tweets at them a day. So that, I mean, the chances they see your tweet is pretty low. But yeah, we'll see if I can get something set up with George. Back in the day, I was trying to get something set up with Ben. Didn't really work out. I think I just kind of got lost in his messages, dude. I mean, these guys are getting hundreds, thousands of messages a day, right? So just remember that. True that, says Jazz. Yeah, true that. Bulls now, there will be a pullback, but bears, like, it's going to crash every time. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Like, bulls are not afraid to admit they're wrong, right? Bulls, even in downtrends, will be like, all right, the charts look pretty bearish, like myself, right? I'm a long-term bull, but when the charts look bearish, I'm not afraid to admit it's bearish. Bears, right? The price could be going like this, and they'll be like, this is a dead cat bounce. We're going down to the down. Bitcoin's still going to zero. They'll be like, LOL, look at the bulls. Getting all excited over a 5% move. You know, like, that's the difference between the bears and the bulls. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm on the bulls side that I kind of see it like that. Like, I could have, like, little goggles on, but we were here talking about big dildos. Ben ran in fear. Probably. You're too good for Ben? No, Ben's awesome, man. Ben's awesome. All right, I'll probably stream for a couple more minutes, guys. I got to get working on that Patreon video. Like I said, I'm going to be putting a lot more time into these Patreon videos, really the weekly video. A lot of time and effort go into those. So if you guys haven't, check out the Patreon. Links down in the description. I'm going to be uploading about an hour and a half video today. Basically a weekly video letter that I'm going to be doing every Thursday. That's going to be uploaded shortly after the stream today. So pretty excited for that. The exchange that I use seems like I'm paying way too much for their up-to-date market valuations on crypto. Yeah. He was like, nope. Super Doge wants Binance. We can check out Binance Coin real quick. Binance Coin. What's going on with Binance Coin? Expect Bitcoin to do something when I stop streaming too, guys. You guys know the deal at this point. Daily charts. Binance has an interesting daily chart. So Binance on the daily looks pretty bearish. I mean, granted, you only have 2 touches on the top side, so keep it with a grain of salt, but it looks a little rising wedgy, right? Rising wedgy. It's like someone's giving them a wedgie or something. But looks a little rising wedgy. Now, it's not a perfect, I mean, these trend lines aren't perfect. You only have 2 touches on the top side, 3 touches on the bottom. So, but you are in some type of pattern. You can see the volume is tapering off here. So expect a breakout pretty soon here. The volume can't get much lower than it is. It's right at support, which I don't like at times like this. I don't like you being right at support like this when the volume gets super low, because that means it takes not that much volume and price action coming in to actually push it to the downside. So typically these patterns are bearish in the first place. Breakout target would probably be somewhere around 260 on a rising wedge. But like we talked about with Bitcoin yesterday, a lot of the times these rising wedges actually break to the upside, right? So actually, speaking of that, I don't even think we looked at the rising wedge we were in yesterday. Right? Are we still at that support? Yeah. I mean, we're right at that support on the rising wedge. I actually completely forgot about that. Shows how much I looked at the charts last night. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's still in the rising wedge too. Right? Hourly rising wedge. You're right at that support right now for BTC too. So we'll see. We'll see. The bull flag kind of fits right perfectly into that rising wedge. So last one broke up. We'll see if this one breaks up too. This would actually make perfect sense too. We break this to the upside. We get rejected here at about 42,500, 43,000. We actually break back to the downside, retest, and then continue up. That's kind of the price action I want to see here. That would be perfect. Absolutely perfect if that played out. I can't see you, Jordan, my man. Yeah, I got the floating helmet on there today. You know, the Lord of Chaos. A quick ETH analysis before you go. I can definitely do that. Definitely do that. ETH analysis before I go. ETH, not much is really going on right now. I'm watching this daily chart on ETH. Really, like, you're just getting higher lows on the Ethereum daily chart. You just really want to hold that for ETH. You're going to get squeezed here between this 50 moving average and this support here. As this slowly starts to coil back down, it's going to make some type of like triangle pattern and hopefully break up to the upside there. 4-hour inverse head and shoulders looking looks like you just got a nice bounce off that trend line as well. So watch for a break of the neckline at about 2,600. That could break the inverse head and shoulders to the upside, right? So that's where we're waiting. Looks like Bitcoin's trying to bounce right now, perfectly off that support line of the rising wedge. So that is looking pretty good too. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a stream. I like to keep these about an hour long in the morning so I don't burn myself out. So I will catch you guys later. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be uploading that Patreon video shortly. Go check it out. Links in the description if you guys are interested in more content from me. Other than that, guys, make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed. Hit that like button. Go follow me on Twitter. Links in the description as well. All right, so I'll catch you guys in tonight's stream. Thank you guys for watching, even though with the camera glitch. You guys can't see my beautiful face. It'll be back tonight. All right. Catch you guys later. Peace. Hold on. Coinbase once said we were vetting process very serious when referring to listings. Oh, no, I already did that one. Never mind. Peace out, guys.